welcome to Liquid Lunch. It's me, Hugh Sanders here. Right, Sandra? Oh,
yes,
Sandra's getting a text.
No. I was just looking, what's the date? You weren't supposed to see me checking the date. What date is it today?
I was going to ask you.
Okay, it is March 10th.
March 10th.
We've hit the double digits in March, and it is raining out. It is actually very beautiful out.
It is beautiful. I rode home last night on my bike, and it was, it just was like spring. That damp smell in the air. It was fantastic. I'm hoping to ride home today. Hopefully it'll stop raining. Do you ride in the rain? Sometimes I have ridden in the rain.
Now, do you find that that's harder on the road? Like, is it slipperier and more tricky?
It can be slipperier, yeah.
So,
especially in Toronto, because we have the streetcar tracks. Those are very...
Oh, that would be brutal.
In fact, you know what happened? Like last week. Remember last week, Roger? We got roger-zuraw joining us here.
Hey, Roger!
Right, Roger? There he is. But last week, remember we had the big snow?
Yeah.
And at the same time that day, the TTC was down, right? Because they had the power fire, and then there was no streetcars, there was no subway. And I said, I'm not going to go out there and wait for a streetcar. I know it's bad snow, but I'm going to ride. I have a rule.
Oh my God!
No riding in the snow. So I said, but that day, because the streetcars were down, I said I'm riding my bike anyway, right? So I was riding on Queen Street, going over the bridge of the Don River, right?
Yeah,
heading, and some other biker was in front of me, and he was turning onto King Street.
Yeah.
And I saw him. He went like his tire hit the train track, and he went for a spill.
Ouch!
I asked him. He was okay, but then I thought I better be careful out here. It's more slippery than I thought.
Absolutely.
And then I was on Shooter Street, westbound, a little bit like just past Parliament, and I went for a spill too.
Oh, jeez.
I fell off my bike.
You should have known better. I learned my lesson when I was 13 not to get on bikes in the wintertime.
Well, wait a second. Can you get you can get four-wheel tires or winter tires for cars. Can you get winter tires for bikes?
Have you seen those?
They have some pretty heavy-duty tires.
You see those bikes now. It's like ridiculous. They got a tire that's this thick. Right?
Wow!
It looks like a motorcycle tire.
Yeah.
And
that must be really hard to pedal.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Wow. It's a little ridiculous, but it's probably a lot safer in the winter and in the city with all these tracks on the road. It's hard.
So so I drive in the city, but I don't bike in the city. I'm actually not a cyclist. I used to be in my younger days, but not now. But so for someone who's a driver, who's trying to work with these crazy cyclists who drive in the wintertime and on the wet roads, what can I do to make the road safer for both of us? Probably don't say don't drive.
Wait, maybe Roger.
Because I think I put my foot right into that one.
No, I'm not going to say that. Roger, do you have anything to say, first of all? Any recommendations for those drivers and bicyclists?
Well, my thing is walk. I'm going to get off that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Walking is the best. It's been really good for me. I stopped about a year and a half ago, but prior to that, I have a buddy, Scottish buddy. You know what that means? Temper.
Really? The Scots have a temper, do they?
No,
Scottish, Irish, same thing.
Any-ish.
And then a good friend from high school days, so that's a long time. And we used to walk for about 2 hours, over 2 hours once a week. And sometimes we would start from Woodbine and Danforth and walk to Dundas West. That's a nice hike.
That's a huge hike. That's like, what, 2 hours?
Over 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and the reason why I have a friend accompanying me on a walk, because I'm of a certain age now. Just in case one of us drops to the ground, the other one calls an ambulance, like the one going by now.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
But we also had other routes, like walking from Islington, Bloor, down Islington to Lakeshore, from Islington Lakeshore to the Long Branch Loop and back a little bit. So we were all over the city having a grand old time.
So what's the Long Branch Loop? Is that where the Humber Loop, the streetcar turns around there? Where is that?
That's the extent. That's as far as the streetcars go as far west before entering Mississauga.
Oh, way over there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I see. I haven't even been there, and I know, Roger. We're just talking about this because you're a big fan of the
Lakeshore.
The Lakeshore, the New Toronto, right?
Mimico, New Toronto,
Mimico.
Long Branch.
And I really love that neighborhood too.
It's great. It's really coming along quite nicely in terms of development and whatnot, and
lots of condos now.
Condo. That's not always good, but what I like about it is the homes near the lake, and it's wonderful there, especially in Long Branch. I wrote a song called "Where Pigeons Fly." Where pigeons fly in native Mississauga language means where pigeons gather, and that Mimico means where pigeons gather, where pigeons fly in a native Mississauga language.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I wrote a song encompassing Mimico, New Toronto, and Long Branch, and Long Branch was known. For my song, I'll put in my song. That's where the cottages went back in the term.
In the old days, that was cottage country, right?
Yeah.
What?
And I have a friend,
and
I have a dear friend. I have a dear friend that I don't know. You don't probably won't remember. I don't know. You probably may not remember when you were a young man. Following wrestling and grappling and all that stuff.
I remember all that. Whipper Billy Watson?
Oh, yeah. But my friend lives in the house where Gorgeous George lived. It has his cottage.
Gorgeous George?
That's before your time. I think he's from the 50s. Gorgeous George.
What was is that his full name?
Yeah.
Gorgeous George.
Who is that, a boxer?
I don't know his last name. I don't know his last name. I just remember it. And it's on 28th Street in Long Branch where that house is.
So your friend lives in that house?
Yeah.
Where Gorgeous George used to live?
Yeah. Had a cottage or lived. I'm not sure.
See, Gorgeous George is a little bit before my time, but Whipper Billy Watson was around when Gorgeous George was around, right?
Yeah. But Gorgeous George was before that, slightly before that era.
Well, now you're making me think, because I know you're a musician. We're going to play some of your songs a little bit later, but talking about those old wrestlers, you got Sweet Daddy Siki.
He's still around, I believe.
He's doing the jam over at the Duke, or the karaoke, right?
Wow. I should pop in there.
Yeah.
I know he lived. I believe he lived in Parkdale a number of years ago, and he played a few spots, including it's an ambulance coming to take me away.
Yeah, there's something going on out there.
Is that the name of the song? An ambulance is coming to take me away.
Maybe I'll write in view of what happened last year with my health. That's just the way.
So now, do you want to talk about that? You want to tell that story? You were walking on the lakeshore, right?
Yeah, I was walking on the lakeshore in Mimico, walking from Superior to Mimico Avenue, and all of a sudden I just kept getting more and more tired. By the time I got to the corner, to the bank of Mimico Avenue on Lakeshore, I thought I was going to collapse, and at that moment I just leaned against the building for about 5 minutes and walked in. After that, crossed the street, walked into the restaurant, the Canadiana restaurant, where they know me quite well.
Canadiana restaurant?
Yeah.
Let's give them a plug.
Yeah. On Lakeshore, there's two Canadianas, one at 6 Points Plaza. I don't think there's any association between the two.
Is that a bagel place?
No, this one's not a bagel place.
Oh, okay.
There's a bagel place out on Lakeshore, at Superior and Lakeshore.
Okay.
And initially it was called Bagel Boys. And now it's anyway. I go into Cece is the lady behind the counter. She's very nice. But anyway, I was getting back to the story so I was very sick and barely made it to the restaurant, the Canadiana, and normally I'm known for telling a joke or something whimsical, and so I walk in and. They saw the look on my face, and they said, "What would you like?" I said, I don't feel well. Just call an ambulance. And didn't say a word. They just went to the back and called an ambulance. A few minutes later, it was there. And they kept me in an ambulance for about 10 minutes before they drove me to the hospital because my blood pressure was high, over 200 and 105 on the other end. So I was worried, you know.
Yeah.
But there was nothing happened. I saw my doctor. He gave me some prescription pills a few days later, and I still didn't feel well. And similar thing that was in April, recurred in December of past year. But I feel great now, so I think that.
Are you watching your diet?
Do I look like I'm watching my diet?
Look at it. You brought these cookies in today.
You brought those in? It's you?
Yeah, these are good. These are good. These are good from Bloor West Village.
Probably
Bread and
not
Roses.
the greatest in terms of high blood pressure. Because I'm thinking lots of salt.
But I don't. You know, I have to have some vices. I don't drink anymore. I don't do drugs anymore. I don't chase expensive women anymore. So
it's just the less expensive women you chase now?
the cheap girls.
But I'm bummed.
So, I do watch myself, and the weather's getting better now, and I'm feeling better. So I'll be resuming walking once a week for a couple hours.
Well, that's good, and the weather's just picking up. So
it's beautiful. Yesterday it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was great.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
So,
and where are you living? I forget where you live.
I live in a co-op in the Swansea area.
Swansea. Yeah.
West of Hyde Park.
Swansea's a great area too.
That's a lovely area.
That's
a lovely area.
I used to live there. I used to live on Beresford, south of Bloor.
Beresford.
Okay, now the real estate prices just went down on Beresford.
What? Yeah, it's
the real estate prices just went down on Beresford.
Not anymore because we moved out. You know what I'm saying? We were the troublemakers on the street.
But it's good there. I hope to finish off my days at the co-op. It won't be a co-op anymore because our mortgage is all paid up and the subsidies going away. So it's kind of a iffy situation.
What does that mean? They're going to turn it all into condos?
Not condos, but there won't be geared to income rent anymore.
Oh, but that's not going to affect you because you're already in, right?
I'm already in, but it's an uncertain situation. I just hope to finish off the days there. And I have enough, but I have to really watch my spending, so may not be able to record as much as I did in the past.
Well, you know, because we got one of your songs here, but I don't know. You know, it's like people in the old days. They used to do music for the money, right? Because you used to, write a song, become a rock star, you got it made, right, Roger?
Yeah. Well, from what I hear.
Now,
that's the rumor.
Which song do you want to hear first? We got this one here, the Mimico Jail by roger-zuraw. This is a memoir of your time in the jail.
I'll tell you a story about that.
Oh, you were in jail?
Well, Mimico Jail is an old. It went back many generations. What happened with that recently? It's been rebuilt, and they opened. And I wrote the song Mimico Jail before it was finished. The new jail was rebuilt, and I wanted to take a tour of it. I showed him gave him the CD, and haven't heard. I just kept pestering him. I kept 22 divisions, see if I could speak to somebody at the Mimico Jail and all that sort of thing. You take a tour and have him listen. Ostensibly, what I like to do is have a concert at Mimico Jail, the way Johnny Carson did his Folsom Prison blues thing.
You mean Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash. I'm sorry. I'm old.
Yeah. Okay. So
anyway, so what happened was, after me badgering him for a while, had an open house for the Mimico Jail before the inmates came in. So for the whole weekend, they had there were big lineups to get in to take a tour of the place.
Wow! Did you get in that lineup?
I did. I didn't do any other time there. That was the only time I went through the jail.
So
Roger, I'm getting a call. Let's play the song Mimico Jail, and we're going to come back and continue with roger-zuraw.
Is that my agent?
Mimico.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Mimico Jail, that's where you go with a shrug or a wail for the lack of sobriety, greed, unlawful betrayal. You're sure to do time in Mimico Jail. Friends are friends, but there's money too. You just gotta get more and buy your way through. If you get caught, you're not far from you were raised with the comforts of home. You're always amazed, and it's Mimico Jail. That's where you go with a shrug or a wail for the lack of sobriety, greed, unlawful betrayal. You're sure to do time in Mimico Jail. There are men here, cross country from every hood. You can hone your skills, you're always understood. You can learn here, you can also teach if you play your cards right. There's no telling how far you can reach, and it's Mimico Jail. That's where you go with a shrug or a wail for the lack of sobriety, greed, unlawful betrayal. You're sure to do time in Mimico Jail. If your politics are thought to be wrong, here you have time to express them to the throng. You know prisons are built to keep the like-minded enclosed. Come and see me when you're right-minded and dozed. And it's Mimico Jail. That's where you go with a shrug or a wail for the lack of sobriety, greed, unlawful betrayal. You're sure to do time in Mimico Jail. Mimico Jail. When you get out, you'll be old and frail. If not for the room and board, I'd be long time dead. So now I thank you instead. And it's Mimico Jail. That's where you go with a shrug or a wail for the lack of sobriety, greed, unlawful betrayal. You're sure to do time in Mimico Jail.
We're just talking about the Mimico Jail, and Sandra can't believe that there's a jail there.
Well, it's by a lot of residential homes, right?
Not really. That's an industrial park area.
But that jail has been there forever, for decades.
Has anybody ever broken out?
I'm not sure.
Probably.
I'm not sure. Probably.
Unless Colonel Klink is the commandant.
But a lot of well-known people have spent time there.
Like
okay, who?
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names.
Oh, come on.
But there was a fellow that the first 8 lines are about him. friends are friends, but there's money too. You just got to get more, buy your way through. And if you get caught, you're not far from where you were raised. With the comforts of home, you're always amazed. And that fellow lived in the area on Lakeshore. He got fame and notoriety later on, first fame and notoriety, but he was world known figure.
What was he in jail
tell us
for?
who it was, Roger. You have to.
Who it was, when it was, and what was he in jail for?
From what I'm told, it's not 100%, but I believe he did time there. He was a lawyer.
After or before?
A lawyer that went to jail. Wow. Now there is a concept.
No.
Isn't that something?
Come on, did Alan Eagleson go to jail? Didn't Alan Eagleson go to jail too?
Probably.
He was a lawyer.
So maybe. Where did Alan Eagleson live, by the way?
He was raised on Lakeshore.
Who, Alan Eagleson?
Yeah.
Is that who we're talking about?
Could be. I don't know.
Did I just guess that?
Maybe.
Was that a complete...
I don't know.
I just...
Wow. Ding,
I just
ding,
made...
ding, 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 ding.
Whoa.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Al was a paper boy in his younger days.
So did he steal the paper?
So was I. I delivered the smelly telly.
I delivered the telly too. I still have the bag. Or maybe you know what? I might have thrown it out. I had a telegram carrier bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the old days, my friends, the ones that delivered Star, we call them rats because Star backwards is rats.
But didn't they make more money, the Star guys?
I only did it for years and then I sold it. It's hard to believe, but I had collection problems.
What?
I had collection problems.
Oh, collection. Collection is always difficult. How many dailies did you have, Monday to Friday?
I forget.
No, come on.
It's been early 61 or something. So
I wasn't even that long after that, and I can tell you how many I had, and it's such a ridiculous number. I'm almost ashamed to say it.
Ridiculously high?
See,
I had 3 streets, so 6, 7, 8th Street.
Did you have any apartment buildings? That's where the money was.
There was tough collecting from the apartment buildings.
I know, eh? That's true. Yeah.
So did you have to have like a, the collector loan shark?
You had to do it yourself, right?
Yeah. But anyway, those were the days on Lakeshore, and I won't mention any other. I think there were some hockey players at that time. I won't even say who they were, but a friend of mine who he's gone now had a drinking problem. He was caught for drinking. He did time on the weekends. He had a difficult time there. And one of the big league hockey players took him, protected him from any mishappenings. There. I won't mention this fellow's
What, he was
name.
a hockey player, but he had a drinking problem?
No, my friend had a drinking problem. I don't know why. The other hockey player, I'm not sure what his situation was.
Was he a Toronto Maple Leaf?
I can't tell you.
Okay, I think I knew who it was.
You do?
He's a very good hockey player, a very good man, and things just happened one time, and I don't think he's had a problem since then. So.
Did you write about him in the song too?
Not him, no.
Well, it's a.
What?
I don't know. I'm just looking at you. Well, okay. Do you want to hear the other song now, Rogers? And then we can. Now, this next song is called "Keep Your Mouth Shut."
It's for the downtrodden and the oppressed.
Keep your mouth shut. This reminds me of that. Some people now they go, I don't need anger management. You just need to keep your mouth shut. Right?
But this is what the big guys with any power want you to do. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, they want you to keep your mouth.
Well, it's interesting because we were just talking about Mimico Jail, and a lot of people who experience police brutality, they're told to keep their mouths shut.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of politics, people with big money, people with influence. Anyway, the thing is, I'm really pleased about this song because I wrote this about 3-4 years ago, and sent it to Song of the Year contest. I think it was a semi-finalist in the Song of the Year contest.
Oh, congratulations on that!
I'm going to show you. There's the single right there with Roger playing. Keep Your Mouth Shut for the downtrodden. No, why is it for the downtrodden and the depressed?
Oppressed.
Yeah. Oh, oppressed. Yeah. Why is it for them?
Because the big guys don't need to keep their mouth shut. They can do whatever they want.
Really?
You know
so
that.
that's the little guy who needs to keep their mouth shut. That's true.
That's what the big boys want you to do. So they keep on doing what they want to do.
All right. So we're going to hear
anyway, so the thing is also about this. It got played on a station from London, Ontario. Dave O'Halloran has a program on Thursdays at 6 to 7:30 from University of Western Ontario. He played that. He refers to me as that Toronto I can't think of it now, but he discovered that and he played that song. He also another big moment, a huge moment for me is when I sent it to Danny Marks and for his Saturday show, #1 blues show in Canada at 91.1 FM on Saturdays between 8 and midnight, and he played this song. Although it's not a blues song, it's a bluesy rock song, but he played that song. I'm really thrilled with the airtime this song.
So he's playing on this too? Danny Marks?
No, he didn't play on it.
But he's on some of your tracks.
But no, he's not. But he played some of my tracks on his show.
Okay, so here it is. You may have heard this before on the Danny Marks show. So here's roger-zuraw. Keep Your Mouth Shut for the downtrodden and the oppressed. And we'll be right back with more.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep yourself hid. You heard what they said. You saw what they did. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Life's not always good. Life's not always fair. If you don't have a job, your baby won't be there. Life's not always good. Life's not always cool. If you can't pay your bills, your kids can't go to school. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep yourself hid. You heard what they said. You saw what they did. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Life's not always good. It can get you in the gut when you can't go and live. Baby, you're in the rut. Life's never easy when you see what you see. You gotta pay the price. You gotta pay the fee. Life's never easy when you hear what you hear. You gotta keep on breathing and stay on the side of fear. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep yourself hid. You heard what they said. You saw what they did. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut.
Here on the show. I don't know if that guitar is making any noise, but we'll find out in the post edit. But we got Roger-Zuraw here, and we're digging deep. We are uncovering Roger's philosophy, the philosophy that drives his music creation, right, Roger? and then you tell me what I thought you said was that down on the lakeshore there's a serious. First, I thought you said Syrian diaspora group. I thought you were dealing with the refugees, and then you said serious, and then you were serious about Sirius, weren't you?
Absolutely.
So you got some aliens from the planet Sirius down on the lakeshore, and Roger is involved somehow. Roger, tell us more.
Well, it's a very interesting thing. It brings the neighborhood together in terms of acting and performance and writing and that type of thing. And there's a lady that's been running it for quite a long time. I'm not sure how long, many, over at least 10 years. And
so this is not alien. This is theatrical, right?
Theatrical. Heather Dick, and she's a wonderful actress, producer. You name it, she's done in that type of thing.
Yeah.
And the first time I was associated with her, I wrote a song for her for musical production she was doing, and the song "My Prayer," and a great song for which I sent that song to Billboard magazine. They had a contest there, and I didn't win any prizes or anything, but they sent me a note saying well-crafted song, and I have an unusual and honest delivery. So, and my about a month after that, I googled my name. Be careful with that, and it's from about 20,000 hits. I had 1 million hits on. When someone Googled my name, so it was very good. So thank you to Sirius Theatrical Group, the song "My Prayer." And last year, I was thinking, wow, she was. I got a note from Heather saying that she is doing something about Lakeshore, and she invited me to participate in maybe writing a production about Lakeshore. And I didn't think much of anything in terms of anything I would write about, but I went to the meeting, and during the meeting there was a large group of people from the shore, and various writers and artists and performers, and she was showing pictures of different parts of Lakeshore, and two of them hit me, and one of them was a Polish restaurant around 12th Street on Lakeshore, New Toronto. And so I thought, I've been there and I played there. I had several gigs there. I said, maybe I'll write something about that. Nice Polish cuisine. And
do they have pierogies?
Pierogies.
Really good
pierogies. They would have
they
to.
do.
You can't be Polish cuisine if you don't have pierogies.
That's why I'm...
cabbage rolls.
Cabbage rolls.
Beef borscht. And
Beef borscht soup too.
Yeah, they have everything there. Schnitzel, cutlet, just great. And anyway, so I thought maybe I'll write a song, but then I saw a picture. This is really amazing. I saw a picture of the monument for Vimy Ridge Parkette there in Mimico, commemorating the veterans from World War I, II, and the Korean War. And I didn't. That struck me right away, and I didn't know I knew I was going to write about that, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that. Anyway, so I went home, and then thoughts were going through my head. I said, no, I better go to the Vimy Ridge Parkette in person and have a look. Have a look at it. So I walked around, looked at the monument, and went home and wrote this song called Remembrance Day from the Lakeshore. and shortly after I wrote it, I called my buddy Alex Radeff, who plays on all my CDs. You just heard the two songs, Mimico Jail and Keep Your Mouth Shut, and he can accommodate any style that I want to evoke, and he does a splendid job. Because of him, Alex Radeff, I get played on the radio quite often.
So can we maybe find that song on the internet right now so we can go out with that? It's called Remembrance Day on the Lakeshore?
From the Lakeshore.
From the Lakeshore? Remembrance Day from the Lakeshore, roger-zuraw.
Maybe
no, it would be better if it's online. Is it online? We're gonna try to find it.
It's online. It's on CD Baby.
CD Baby. So Roger.
But is it a video or just the audio?
Audio.
We'll do, probably
I also send it out to. Song of the Year contest. This time it wasn't semi-finalist or runner-up like before, but it was an honorable mention. Very nice. I'm really happy with that. So, and I have my buddy Dougal Beacon. I'm sure how Scottish fella, nice fella. He
temper.
No temper. This guy doesn't have a temper. I told him they should revoke his bloodline. He's a great guy. He plays the bagpipes on it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not finished yet, Roger. We will try to get that song up, but because I got a song that needs bagpipes too, right? Some songs just need bagpipes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you know what a gentleman is, don't you?
It's got something to do with a kilt, but I can't remember the rest.
No, it's a person that can play the bagpipe but won't. Oh yeah.
That's a good one, Roger.
No. Remembrance Day from the Lakeshore.
From the Lakeshore.
It's either on CD. You could do it from.
He's got it. So Roger, listen. I just want to find out. I mean, I'm actually just the stories you're telling us here. You're making me want to go down to that stretch of Lakeshore and just
Mimico.
Because I remember even as a kid, because I'm not from Toronto originally. Right?
Yeah.
But I remember one time I was with my parents, me and my sister, like driving from Toronto. Instead of taking the highway, we took the Lakeshore all the way. And I remember
highway too.
There was a vibe that I sensed even back then. That whole Lakeshore strip over there, Lakeshore.
There
West.
was a lot of industry back then. Good. You must have passed Goodyear. My grandfather worked at Goodyear.
Yeah, well, I know it was a big industrial area, but Lakeshore itself was just a kind of you could feel the lake close by.
Yeah.
And you could I just remember just the vibe of the place had a certain vibe to it.
Working class area with people wanting to do better in life, study hard, or become doctors, teachers, that type of thing, and some who just wanted to work in the local factories, which was all well and good, and there were great people there, just lovely people.
Yeah,
people from very varied backgrounds, very ethnic groups. There were a lot of people there from the East Coast, and just a wonderful area.
Now, this Canadiana restaurant, you got me curious about that. Those are the guys that called the ambulance on you.
Yeah.
But what kind of food do they have in there?
Well, the old style restaurant.
Like, is it a greasy spoon type?
Well, more or less.
They got hamburgers in there?
Hamburgers, everything.
French fries?
Everything.
Milkshakes?
Even French toast if you want it.
So you can get a breakfast?
You can get a breakfast.
Nice. What time? They open early, so you can go in there and have your breakfast, get the day started.
Absolutely.
Are you going to bike out there, Heath?
I'm gonna. If I'm out there and I'm hungry,
oh, there's another one
there.
not too far from it where I go to is Margot. They're only about 8-seater or something, but they make everything there from scratch. Nice people. They haven't been open regularly lately, but they have my CDs on display there, and nice people.
You know, before we go, and because we're I don't think we have any other guests here yet. But you must remember this. And I don't even, maybe they're still around, but Peter Dunn's Vinyl Museum.
Oh, he has so much of my money.
I know. Is he still there?
No.
They closed that
down.
They
closed that quite a while ago.
He's got your money?
I bought a lot of CDs there.
I bought a lot of... See, I just bought the vinyl.
CDs. I bought vinyl there too. You know what I found there also is one of my favorite CDs of local. Speaking of local, Toronto sound and local artists from back in the '60s. David Clayton Thomas and the Shays.
David Clayton Thomas. He was in what was the big band he was in?
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. But,
yeah.
But to me. It's always blood. David Clayton Thomas and the Shays were at the Agogo. They were that's every aspiring musician in Toronto had that album back then, and I found that album at Peter Dunn's museum.
And that was before Blood, Sweat, and Tears, probably, right?
Long before.
Before.
Several years.
Do you still have that record?
You know, I don't have the vinyl anymore. I gave my vinyl away.
Oh, that's sad.
And I gave my CDs away to my brother-in-law was going to come by from BC and pick them up, and so they're somewhere in storage, waiting for my brother-in-law to pick them up.
Just a little trivia. I believe this is true. David Clayton Thomas. I think he sang the Mulrooney campaign song one year.
No.
I think he might have. Mulrooney is the leader. That's how it went.
Okay, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that. But I remember, of course, David Clayton Thomas was a big hero in the area when I was a young
What year
kid.
would that have been?
64, 65.
That was just when Yorkville was just getting going, right?
Yeah, and David was just after with the Shays, he was branching out to other things, and he did a song called getting older and older, but there's a song, he has a hit song later on. I can't think of the name because I'm getting old.
Spinning Wheel, was that them?
That was Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Spinning Wheel, yeah.
Yeah, but I was trying to think the one he had in Toronto. It's a three-chord song. It's just, oh, jeez. I'm going to be in the home before you know it.
Don't say that.
Don't say. Well, if you don't watch your high blood pressure.
Yeah. Okay, well, this has been great, Roger, too.
In this song, Remembrance Day from the Lakeshore, I mentioned a friend of the family that lived across the street from Vimy Ridge Parquet. I mentioned that's Adam, and Russell, the father of a friend from New Toronto, my oldest friend, Canadian friend with whom I still have daily contact with. His father was involved in freeing Holland during the last war.
In the Second World War, yeah.
And he was also, I mentioned the Legion 101, where he was the president for a while. And so it encompasses a lot of the Lakeshore part of...
That's great. Where is that Vimy Ridge Park exactly?
In Mimico, just west of Parquet. It's just west of Mimico Avenue.
On Lakeshore?
On Lakeshore, on the north side of the street.
North side, okay. All right, Roger, this has been great. Thanks for coming down today.
Thank you for the history. Wow.
I know.
I'm going to go find that jail now. I'm going to drive by that jail.
Okay.
I don't want to go in it. I just want to drive by it.
So here is roger-zuraw, Remembrance Day.
From the Lakeshore.
From the Lakeshore. And we may be back as Liquid Lunch may continue right here on thatchannel.com.
Who knows?
They have sacrificed for freedom and justice by taking away the evil man's malice with no thought to personal loss. Their determination was more than a coin toss. The veterans who have come and gone give us security to carry on, to help the oppressed, the downtrodden, and to feel blessed. In Mimico, across the street from Vineyard Ridge Parquet, lived a Polish fellow named Adam. Lest we forget Adam's heroism in World War II, paved the way for many fresh Canadians to start life anew. Russell, the father of a friend, from New Toronto, distinguished himself from the get-go, first in battle then, raised a family second to none. On occasion it would be seen with his war bright at the Legion 101. They have sacrificed for freedom and justice, but taken away the evil man's malice with no thought to personal loss. Their determination was more than a coin toss. The veterans who have come and gone gave us security to carry on, to help the oppressed, the downtrodden, and to feel blessed. It was 1914 to 1918, and it was a great European war. There were men from all over, even from the lake shore. It was a war to end the wars. Alas, it didn't happen that way. Let's stand and remember them. Let's keep loving our hearts in evil way. Whatever men's beliefs are, man's nature has shown love and hate. Let's concentrate on love. Let's not hesitate. Let's concentrate on love. Let's not leave it to fate. Let's concentrate on love. Let's not wait. They have sacrificed for freedom and justice, but taken away evil man's malice with no thought to personal loss. Their determination was more than a coin toss. The veterans who have come and gone gave us security to carry on, to help the oppressed, the downtrodden, and to feel blessed.